Okay, and that's going to take us to correspondence then. So, Mr. Rogie.
Yes, we have correspondence from 6 people. Our first one is Elizabeth Cantwell of Livermore urges the Board of Superintendent to approve reauthorization of the charter petition for the Livermore Valley Charter School, which offers alternative schooling options for Livermore residents. Laura Moore, Dublin resident, asked the Board and Livermore School District for our continued support of the Livermore Valley Charter Preparatory High School and cites examples specific to her child student that she believes that to reflect a challenging and fun learning environment. Meg Epperly of Livermore believes Livermore is stronger with the choice of that of Livermore Valley Charter Preparatory High School gives parents and high schoolers. She encourages the Board and the district to approve the charter petition. Deborah DeSantis, Livermore resident, remarks that the charter high school is a wonderful choice for any and all children in Livermore and urges the Board to support the approval of the charter petition. Kenzie Schlag, a Livermore Charter Preparatory High School senior, shares her challenging experiences with the public school system and cites reasons that have made her a successful student who has worked hard to prepare for college. She expressed many thanks to the charter high school for believing in her. And Kara Wong, Dublin resident, shared that she is fortunate that the family found the Livermore Valley Charter Preparatory High School as an alternative school outside their district that is more suitable fit for their freshman daughter. And that is our end of our correspondence.
Thank you, Mr. Rogie. And that brings us to our information discussion items. And to clarify for the public, this is an information and discussion item tonight. And we're going to hear about the Livermore Charter Prep, and we're going to have a formal presentation first, is my understanding, and then we'll hear comments. And I do have 4 comment cards on that. And when people come up and comment, I'm going to give you the opportunity to voice your support or show your support by raising your hand and supporting what the speaker has said. And that way we don't spend all night saying the same thing over and over, and yet everyone gets to contribute. So feel free to comment, but there is a way for you to weigh in as well. So if we could have an introduction of the presentation.
Certainly. Thank you, Madam President. So I will ask Mr. Chris Van Schack, who is our Assistant Superintendent of Administrative Services, and he is also our current Oversight Coordinator and Liaison with LVCS and CVLC, to introduce the agenda item, and this will be prior to the formal opening of a public hearing.
Thank you, Mrs. Bowers. As you mentioned, as Mrs. Bowers mentioned, tonight is an opportunity for us to hear from the public, the Livermore community, their thoughts regarding the petition submitted by the Livermore Valley Charter Prep High School recently. As we go through, just as a reminder to the Board, the process that we will undertake. A little less than a month ago, we received the petition on a very large hand truck from Mr. Dilly. We appreciate that. 4 days later, I presented that to the Board of Education. Tonight, October 7th, is our opportunity to hear from the public. Within 60 days from the original acceptance of the petition, we are to hold a hearing or a meeting in which the Board of Education will make a decision about this charter petition. We have undertaken the task of going through the petition in very great detail to determine whether or not it meets the requirements from the state. And tonight, again, it's our opportunity to hear from the community, their thoughts on the Livermore Valley Charter Prep High School. And we will begin the process by hearing a presentation from the school itself. And I believe tonight Mr. Eric Dilly, who's the principal of the school, has brought a team, or possibly he'll just present by himself, but he's going to spend a little bit of time telling us about this school. So Mr. Dilly and or Mr. Batchelor, whoever would like to present, please step forward.
Good evening, Madam Superintendent and Madam President and members of the board. Thank you very much for the opportunity to present Livermore Valley Charter Preparatory High School's renewal charter petition. I'm Bill Batchelor, CEO of Tri-Valley Learning Corporation, and with me is our principal, Eric Dilly. He's going to walk through the highlights, but I want to just reflect a little bit before we start on, it's amazing, it's already been 6 years since the last time we presented the charter petition for Livermore Valley Charter Preparatory High School. Wonderful opportunity for us to continue to work together in our community is now in front of us. I think it's been a terrific process we've gone through with Livermore Valley Charter Schools oversight process transitioning to the school district, and I'm hopeful that we'll find that same process as effective and seamless as with LVCP as we had with LVCS. Principal Tilley, please walk us through the presentation.
Absolutely. As Mr. Van Schack full well knows, I have a hard time keeping things short, but I will do my level best to keep this 10 minutes for you to respect everybody's time and all of our guests tonight. First, I want to start off by saying I'm new to this community. I moved here about 1 year and 4 months ago, roughly, and this is a fantastic community full of fantastic people. I've had an opportunity to work with the greatest people I've ever had in my professional career. We have great schools in this community, and I'm proud to be a part of one of those great schools. And I just think that needs to be said because this is a fantastic community. I think we overlook it, because we live here, but it's awesome. You got to know that. And my family loves living here. I'm a Livermore resident. I don't plan on moving. So let's go to the slideshow on the Jumbotron. Okay, so that was our first graduation at Cornerstone Church last June. It was awesome. It was an emotional night, a lot of tears and a lot of sighs and just a lot of great moments. But we'll move on. That is our valedictorian, Paul Epperson. He is a fantastic young man. He is at the University of California, San Diego. He's really, really intelligent, and he's going to do great things in this world. But on the left-hand side, you can see for yourself. I won't read every bullet. Like I said, I'm going to really try, Mr. Manchak, to keep it under 10 minutes. But I won't read every bullet. But there are benefits to being in a community with charter schools, and I think our parents and our students will speak to that. We really, 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 really see us as being in tandem, in unison with Granada and Livermore High School. We want to work with those schools to make our community the greatest community it can be. I've already said that, and I mean that. So it's just really great to see all three schools on the same screen like that, and I'll move on to the next one. You can see that we are a smaller school. Okay, we have roughly mid 400s. 5 years ago, we're in our 5th year of existence, and like I said, you can read the bullets for yourself, but we do have a tight-knit community. I think you'll hear that from our students when they speak tonight. It is a special culture. It's a culture that really is refreshing to go to work to every day, and it's a fantastic place to work and a fantastic place to for our teachers to teach the students, and parents really enjoy their time with us as well. We do focus on project-based learning. Basically, I had an opportunity, I'll get off on a side note here, I had an opportunity to go to a Tri-Valley Innovation Conference last year, and I had the opportunity to ask a question to the panel, and I said, okay, so our kids graduate, they get their diploma, they have what they need academically, what do you really need from our students to be successful in your companies? And these were all business leaders, like masters of the universe, right? Guy from Chevron, many people from the Valley, from Silicon Valley, and they said, we need our kids to collaborate with others, to problem solve, and to communicate. And that is what we do with the project-based learning. They're getting the academics, obviously the state standards, the Common Core standards, but we're teaching those intangibles as well. And I hope that our students tonight actually hit on that a little bit. I think they will. And we do have a technology focus. We want to be on the cutting edge of technology. We live in the technology hub of the universe. That's one of the biggest focal. When my wife said we're going to California, I said, cool. Where are we going? San Francisco. Great. They have a lot of good technology. That's the hub of the universe, and our school tries to reflect that. We have the one-to-one technology, the laptop focus. We have some fantastic staff members that really know how to use the stuff in the classroom, and it's really awesome to watch them work and watch the students use it as well. We do offer, and it's fantastic, our little school offers fantastic visual performing arts program. I always make it a point to brag on our drama teacher. He does a lot with what he has to work with. I mean, our kids are fantastic, very talented. This year, we're actually going to perform a musical. I had parents last year when I came into the school, and they said, "We have fantastic kids here." I said, "I don't disagree with that." He said, "No, I'm serious. They're musically talented. They can sing and play instruments." It's like, let's do a musical. So I took it to our performing arts department, and they said, "Let's get that done." And this year, we'll have a musical. I'm looking forward to it. Again, just more of the visual performing arts that we offer. We do have athletics, and we have I have to brag, one of our girls is here tonight. She's a softball player. She'll speak in a minute. But our girls softball team won a NCS CIF banner last year. They had the best grade point average in the NCS. They beat 330 other teams. They had it was a 3.85 cumulative grade point average as a team, and we have a banner in the office and everything. It's great. It's cool. You can see we compete in school in a league with, obviously we're not playing Granada or Livermore High, but we're playing schools that are like us. So again, we have women's athletics as well. This is kind of cool. We have so many clubs. I was amazed to see all the clubs that we offer when I got to the school last year. We have a club for everything. We've even added a few this year. Students have a demand. I find a staff member to sponsor it, and away we go. It's kind of cool. The student in the picture will actually speak later. Asha, do you see your picture? She doesn't even see it. One thing we do at our school that I think is really cool, again, teaching the intangibles. They're called POLs, presentations of learning. So at the end of the semester, our students are giving a presentation to their peers in advisory. It's a safe environment. 8 students are in the audience and a staff member. It's in their advisory class. Because at this age, you can imagine students have a hard time getting up in front of their peers. But we make a very safe environment for them. And they basically go over what they learned from the semester. It's really cool to watch. Parents come watch it. It's amazing. They get dressed up. They wear ties and shirts and shoes with laces, and it's awesome. And this, we're actually revamping the, 4 years into it, we've decided to make it different. So our freshmen will do the tried and true PowerPoint. Sophomores will go ahead and look at doing, there's a presentation method called a Pechakucha. Companies in Silicon Valley use this. It's a real succinct way of getting information across to your shareholders or to your presentation, to your crowd. We're going to teach them that, and they're going to work up to a TED Talk in their senior year, because TED Talk is really, it's here to stay. It's a way of presenting information that even kids use it, companies use it. It's all over the internet. Check it out, Google it. It's worth it. We also have something very cool at our school. So we have Las Positas professors come to our school and teach our students, and they get credit in both schools. And this last year, the senior class was the first, obviously the first senior class, and they went to college. And they were able to transfer those credits to the college that they went to. It's really, really, really fun and neat to see that, because it was a lot of work to get this program in place, and those students worked very hard because it's a college-level class. They're expected to be college-level in this class, and those professors hold them to that. Trust me. They're very good people, but they make our students work. They stretch their brains out, and it's really great to see that happening on our campus. I won't even bother going over all the elements, but there are 16 elements, and we think that we meet these elements. Again, you're doing your review with our charter, making sure that is the case. Just a quick snapshot. We did receive our WASC accreditation. When I arrived on the scene, we were in the middle of that, and I had to pick that up quickly. 94% of our kids were admitted to university or two-year college last year. It's a fantastic number out of 79 students. We have a high attendance rate. Kids like coming to our school. Students enjoy our school. You can see our course offerings at the bottom. There's no official graduation rate yet, but we did use the state formula and use CalPAS to back it up, and we talked to people in Sacramento at length, and it'll be 98.7%, which is very good. Highlights, demographics. So we're very in tune, very in line with the demographics of Livermore High School and Granada High School. There are some exceptions, of course. Every school's different. We do have double the percentage of Asian students, as you can see in the numbers. But for all intents and purposes, and clearly we're way smaller than those two schools, but for all intents and purposes, we're nearly lockstep with them in every demographic. Graduation requirements. So our first-year freshmen are actually following the UC and CSU recommendations, not just the requirements. And you have that in front of you as well, I believe. One of the check boxes that you have to check to become eligible for renewal is to meet, the measurable outcomes that the state puts forth, and we meet those. Wow, that's the last slide. In short, and I think I was less than 10 minutes, Mr. Vanchak, we are proud to be a part of the community. This is a great community. All of us in this room, most of us are Livermore residents, and we want to, to continue to provide a service in this community that parents and students want, and to work with the district to make this place the best absolute place it can be to live in. I have a young daughter. I want her to be in a community that's awesome. And what is it, she's 7, so in 10 years, when she's graduating from high school, I want it to be here in Livermore. So thank you. That's all I have.
Trying to say something? No?
No.
Okay.
We can be available to answer any questions if you have them
Okay.
at this point, but Certainly, if there aren't any, that's fine.
All right, so this is a public hearing, so I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing and take comment, and I'm going to start with Sam Pettit, and Sam will be followed by Melissa Parker. So if you can be ready to go, appreciate that. Yes, please, and use the mic so that not only can we hear you here, but the people watching the recording will be able to hear you.
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, I'm Sam. I'm a freshman at LVCP. I gotta say, I've been to many schools. At this point, the preparatory is my 7th school since preschool. 6 of them have been in the Livermore School District, and this by far is the best. Both the charter school, from which I promoted top 8 of my class, received a principal's award and got 5 medals in 8th grade promotion. That and this school are by far the best schools I've attended. I believe that this school is one of the best places to get education for high school and elementary or middle, because it offers courses in high school it offers courses, college credit courses. I'm currently taking AP Human Geography, which is a very difficult class, but it is preparing me for what college will be like. So once it happens, once college comes up for me, I won't be completely surprised. And another thing that both schools offer is IEPs. A lot of schools anywhere don't offer special courses for people that have speech impediments or the autism or other stuff like that. My brother, he's had some issues with speaking and stuff like that, and we're very lucky that he was able to have a speech class. At his other schools, he wasn't able to get one of those, but here at LVCS he was. And LVCP is an extension of LVCS, and I feel that it is a great place for anybody who attended LVCS, and even if you didn't, to be able to go to this school. It really does prepare you for college, and it's a very open and safe environment, and since it's such a small school, everyone knows each other, and we're all pretty close. It's really nice there. Yeah.
Okay. And everyone that wants to support that statement, would you like to raise your hand? All right. Thank you for showing your support. And Melissa Parker, please. And after Melissa, we're going to hear from Jocelyn Casey. Welcome.
Hello, thank you. Good evening. Thanks for the opportunity to coming here to speak and express why I believe the charter petition should be renewed. As you mentioned, my name is Melissa Parker, and I've lived here in Livermore since 1998, with the exception of about 4 years. I have 3 children. My oldest daughter is a junior at LVCP, and I have 2 boys who are at Christensen Middle School. So I've had students at Croce Elementary, Altamont Creek Elementary, Christensen, Livermore High School, and now the charter high school. So I've kind of got a flavor of all the Livermore schools and what they all have to offer. I wanted to come here tonight to talk about my daughter's experience at the high school. She began her freshman year at Livermore High School, and it just wasn't a good fit for her. It was too big. She said she felt lost and was worried about her schoolwork, that she wasn't doing good, or she wasn't learning the way that she thought that she could and that she had at her middle school and her elementary schools. So we looked around, and she transferred to the charter prep school in around Thanksgiving of her freshman year. And in her words, she said, you know, as the other people have expressed, it's a really close-knit community. Everyone is really friendly. The teachers are very open and willing to talk to the students. I'm kind of running out of time, so I just wanted to highlight a few of the reasons why I feel like the charter high school is a wonderful complement here in Livermore. One thing is the athletic program. I just thought it was wonderful that you can participate in varsity athletics and not be a star athlete. The other high schools in Livermore are at a very competitive sports league, and I just feel like athletics is very important for a lot of students, and I think that it's great that you don't have to be a star athlete to participate in sports at LVCP. The project-based learning that Mr. Dilley mentioned is also wonderful. My daughter right now is in digital photography, and she's collaborating with her teacher to create a website for one of the finalists on the show Project Runway, one of the designers. And I just thought that was an amazing way for them to see how their work in the classroom can actually be put into action out in the real world. Another thing I really wanted to highlight was the supportive learning environment from the teachers and the staff alike. My daughter had a wonderful experience last year. She was able to participate in the National History Day competition, and I had never heard of that before, but apparently it's been around for 30 years. It's basically like a science fair for those who are interested in history. My time is up, I know. But briefly, I just want to say that thanks to the support of her history teachers and the school, she, as well as other students, participated at the county and the state level. And my daughter actually won at the state level and went on to participate at the national level in Washington, D.C.
I'm going to ask you
this June.
to wrap it up.
So, thank you. Thank you for considering the renewal, and I hope that you support it.
All right, everyone that... If you want to agree with that speaker, if you'd show hands, thank you. And so Jocelyn Casey, and then we'll be followed by, looks like Asha, and I'm sorry, Melose. Welcome.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I prepared a speech, but I think I'm just going to speak about my experience in general. So I was really nervous to start high school my freshman year. I'm a junior now. And when I first attended LVCP, it was very welcoming. Usually when you go to high school, there are many social classes, and it's divided into freshmen stay with freshmen and upperclassmen stay with upperclassmen. And I was greeted by so many people. And it was really nice to be in have an experience where people are very welcoming and they take you into their groups. I thought that the sports, as Mr. Dilley said before, I play softball, and it's awesome to play at a varsity level. I've never played softball before. My freshman year, I tripped over first base every time I ran. So over the years, I'm getting better, but people will still support you. And as a junior, I think it passes on to people who come. So I'm very open now, and I'm very outgoing, and the school really supports you in that. Also, academically, I was not doing well in school before, and when I came here, the teachers really care about you doing well. And so there would be days where I'd stay after school for like 2 hours working on work because I just didn't get it. But they will stay with you until you understand it. And that's something that you don't usually get at regular schools, and they'll tell you to go look in the textbook or do it on your own because they have lives outside of that. But the teachers don't care because they want you to succeed, because they believe that we are the future of America, which is awesome. In addition, they prepare you for college a lot. Also, said before, we do POLs every semester, which prepares you for speaking in front of people. I probably would never have spoken in front of any of you if I hadn't have done POLs. I think that it's awesome, just the things that they prepare you with. We do little things, just things that prepare you for college, and I'm taking a college class now. And before I was like, oh, why do we have to do this? But it helps a lot. The school itself, it stands for so much more than just a charter school. It inspires you to do more, and it pushes you to your limits and even farther than that. And it helps you to become something that you never thought you would be. I had a quote by Thomas Jefferson. He said, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed to their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." I said, some may agree with me when I say I have most definitely pursued happiness in attending LVCP. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. And everyone who agrees with that statement, thank you very much. And Aisha, and then our last speaker will be Sabbath Mickelson. Welcome.
Good evening. My name is Asha Malachai. I'm a junior at LVCP. So when I was in 8th grade, I went to Mendenhall Middle School, and that was also a great school. And when I was in 8th grade, it was like end of 8th grade, it came time for registration. And I was in between LVCP and a couple other schools. Those were more bigger schools. I really liked the idea that LVCP was a small school, something new and unique. I can't really give you a significant reason why I chose LVCP, but I can tell you why I stayed. So my freshman year, my first couple weeks, I kept hearing the words LVCP culture kind of thrown around. And as I progressed through the year, I was thinking to myself, what does this mean? And I realized that LVCP culture is not a phrase, it's a concept. It identifies the student body as a whole. It illustrates that every student at LVCP is their own person. It advocates personal individuality. When I walk through the halls at LVCP and I see students, I see the students interact with each other and how they behave and interact in their environment. And you can tell that we're not just an average high school. We're not some mainstream stereotypical school. We're so much more than that. And I feel like I'm really happy at LVCP. And we also offer a lot of academic and extracurricular opportunities here at LVCP. As Mr. Dilly mentioned, we have college classes. I feel like college classes are opportunities within opportunities. They've helped me mature intellectually and socially. And I feel like at a lot of schools, college classes aren't offered. And if they are, they aren't as great as some of ours. I currently take a college class. I take college English. And college English is one of my favorite classes. And I really like that class because I feel like we have a loss procedures professor that comes to our class. And she treats us as if we're college students, not high school students. We're treated like maturely as if any other college student would be treated. Also at our school, we have expected school-wide learning results, ESLERs. Act responsibly, communicate effectively, think critically, be creative, and stay current. Also, as Mr. Dilly mentioned, we present those in our POLs, our presentations for 20 minutes. And I feel like this criteria defines what we as students are aiming to be and what we're hoping to achieve. At LVCP, I take 3 APs in a college class, and it's a lot of work. But I feel like I have a lot of people at LVCP who really support me and want me to do well, and they're willing to help me in every way they can. My academic counselor, even when she's busy, her name's Ms. Gooker, even when she's busy, she always makes time for me, no matter what it is, even if it's something little as changing a class, or if I want to talk to her about college, she's always willing to put aside what she's doing to help me. I told Mr. Dilly last year and our PE teacher that I wanted a tennis team because we didn't have a tennis team. And next thing you know, this year we have a tennis team and we have 15 kids on the team. And yeah, thank you.
All right, everybody knows. If you associate with that, raise your hand. Thank you. And we have our last speaker, Sabbath.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the board. It's lovely to see you all here this evening, as well as our amazing turnout for most of us in association with the Charter Preparatory. So I just want to say really quick, as much as I talk about, I'm a senior, and so I'm going off to college soon. I'm also senior class president, so I'm really involved in my school. But I talk constantly. I can't wait to get out. I can't wait to go somewhere new. I can't wait to see the world. I can't wait to get out of the town I was raised in. But I like to reflect on the fact, every once in a while I like to sit down, at my patio in my backyard and in the beautiful skies, in our lovely sunsets, and reflect on the fact that Livermore is actually a wonderful community. I like to reflect on the fact that I go to schools and have constantly attended schools. I went to Portola Elementary, which was sadly shut down, as well as East Avenue Middle School, and now I'm in attendance at the Charter High School. But both through public and charter education, I really had the opportunity to strive, which I think is something that a lot of students can't say. I think that the opportunity to strive is something that is found individually amongst students in correlation with strong teachers and strong academic institutions. And I think that Livermore offers all three of those things. I would also like to say that I think that the Charter High School offers an alternative education, not in competition with LHS and Granada, but in correlation with their goals. You know, they strive to send students to college, to send students into the workforce, and into the community that are prepared global citizens with, you know, beliefs of responsibility and kindness. And I think that my school does the same. And so I'd love to see LHS and Granada and my school work together rather than work against one another. And I think that we've seen that in the last couple of years with our charter and having a graduating class. And I think it's really amazing to see, you know, my football games are played on LHS and Granada's field, and how welcoming those students are, and the teachers and the staff and the faculty, how welcome they are of my school. And so I think that it's just a really amazing thing to see how Livermore as a community is striving, and I truly believe that's because the schools we have here really offer something special. We really offer teachers and students and ideas that are cutting edge and that are going to make our world a better place. And so I think that by, you know, renewing the charter petition for LVCP, you're really going to allow another school that has something to offer into your district. And I think, you know, what a great opportunity to give the best to your students. And that's really why we're here, right? Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
All right. Everyone in agreement? Want to show? Thank you. Now, I am out of cards, but I do not want someone to leave here tonight feeling that their viewpoint was not represented. So I'm going to say, if you have something that you feel that we need to hear, now is the time. This is a public hearing. Okay, seeing no one, I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing, and I'm going to ask if any board member wants to comment. Nope. Okay. We're going to move on to the next item. I'm going to pause for just a minute because I know a lot of you probably don't want to stay for the whole meeting, so thank you for joining us. I'm going to pass these down.